friend of mine saw one of my videos on YouTube and said, "You must be one of the oldest YouTubers around. At least you sure look like it." I'm sure he meant it to be a positive comment on my status among peers, but later when I was editing some videos, I wondered just how literal to take the comment. Yes, I am old, and I look it. So much for that. Oh, if I'm not the oldest YouTuber, I intend to be. Stick around and see how long I last. The real issue is, how did I get this way and how long? Will I continue as a YouTuber teaching people how to age successfully? First is easy to answer, and subscribers who stick around will be able to answer the second part. Let me give you some details of what I consider to be a health-conscious lifestyle and why I think it's critical for longevity, including lifespan, health span, and a term I have coined, happy span. These elements are the focus of my program entitled The Ager Plus Learns Decade Challenge. But first, let me introduce myself. Hello, I'm Humpty. For over 30 years, I was Dr. Ronald Humphrey, educator and psychologist in the public schools of Arizona, North Carolina, and California, from where I retired 20 years ago. Before and after my retirement, I had a very active lifestyle with my major goal to be healthy and happy. So far, I've accomplished both goals. Let me tell you how I did it. I have always tried to maintain an active lifestyle with attention to health and fitness, mentally and physically. My reason for going into some detail here is to emphasize that good health does not happen all at once, but over a lifetime. That does not mean, however, that significant lifestyle changes at any age or health condition will not be beneficial. We all need to meet ourselves where we are and move forward. The sooner you start, the better. I must admit, I've never recovered the fitness level I had after graduation from Marine Corps boot camp in San Diego, 1963. In the 70s, I became a fan of nutrition celebrity at the time, Adele Davis. Still have her book and sometimes make her whole wheat bread recipe. About that time, I also began practicing yoga and meditation. I also started backpacking in the Sierras. My son, aged 10 at the time, and I hiked to the top of Mount Whitney, the highest peak in California, and the lower 48 states. In my late 20s, while working on my doctorate in educational psychology and counseling at Northern Arizona University, NAU, I took up flying and cross-country skiing and climbed for the second time Humphreys Peak, no relation, the highest mountain in Arizona. My 30s, back in San Diego, involved a lot of jogging and frequent 10Ks along Mission Bay. I also developed a new interest in biking. In my 40s, while working part-time for a couple of years, I built 2 hilltop houses east of San Diego, doing all the finish work after the framing was completed. In my 50s, I usually spent the weekends and summer vacations hiking and camping. I walked hundreds of miles on the Pacific Crest Trail in Southern California over several years. I backpacked in the Bitterroots of Idaho and adventure traveled throughout the western U.S. and Canada. When close to home, I followed all the trails in my guidebook for Joshua Tree National Park. Shortly after retiring, I renewed my pilot's license after 30 years of not flying due to a near-death experience while at NAU. More about that later. About age 62, I spent 4 months in driving the Alcan Highway to Alaska, where I hiked, biked, and drove to Prudhoe Bay, where the Alaska road truckers coated my Chevy Tracker and bike in a half inch of mud. I even swam in the Arctic Ocean. At the age of 65, I spent 2 months roaming around Europe and living in youth hostels, something I wasn't able to do when I was of college age, like my friends, because I was a single father with custody of my young son. After nearly 50 years of being single, I married at the age of 71 and have experienced a level of life satisfaction I only once dreamed of. The only downside of aging was deciding to sell my horse after he stumbled and fell down a hill and I landed head over heels on the back of my neck. Fortunately, both horse and rider had healthy bones and I got back in the saddle and continued my ride through the hills under the San Francisco Peaks in Flagstaff, Arizona. I was only 75 when that happened. But reality and my good fortune in surviving struck home as I said goodbye to my dear fuzzy companion, Soldado. I miss him a lot. Before we moved back to California 2 years ago, I spent 7 years renovating a 4,000 square foot house on 2.5 acres in Flagstaff, building a barn, a corral, a root cellar, and large greenhouse. You can check out a link below if you wish. I also made at least 50 pickup truckloads of rocks for walls that I built along my roads and dug out an RV parking area by hand and with a jackhammer into my late 70s. The cardiologist who administered my recent treadmill stress test said I had the heart of a 50-year-old. To my observant YouTube friend, I say, well, maybe looks isn't everything. So yes, I've maintained a healthy and active lifestyle, but with deliberate and determined persistence, not by chance. During the last several years, I have been developing a comprehensive science-based course of study on successful aging that has helped me survive and thrive, and which I would like to share with you, whether you are young or old like me. The earlier in life you start my program, the greater your chance of extending healthy years into your 80s, 90s, and beyond. I plan to live to 100. Hope you can join me. Despite the rosy picture of health I have presented, I have also had some plain good luck along the way. Please don't spread the word, but there have also been times, months, and sometimes years when I fell into bad habits and had to crawl out of a pit now and then to get back on course. Unfortunately, the older we get, the harder it can be to make that journey from the depths. If this applies to you, it's my job to help you. Give me a chance. I've learned from the younger YouTubers that to get visitors to my channel and potential subscribers, I needed a hook, and this is one of them. I hope I've hooked you into exploring my channel, the Ager Plus Learns Decade Challenge. This video is too brief for me to explain in detail all aspects of my successful aging program, so please check out my channel and learn more about the 10 courses or challenges I provide to you through the Ager Plus Learn system for vibrant and positive aging. I may not have more than one decade left in my life, who knows, but it will be the best decade ever. I challenge you to do the same. If things go well, you may be able to extend your life by a decade or more. The science and research is there. I'd like to help you. Watch the introductory videos on the Ager Plus Learns Decade Challenge, and please enjoy browsing through the additional videos on all aspects of the aging lifestyle I advocate. Oh, in case you're curious, my lifestyle courses are absolutely free. Your only investment is your time and effort. If you don't have much of either one of those, I will show you how to generate them. Please send me some comments about the program so I can continue to keep it strong and relevant for agers of all ages. Hope to hear from you soon. In closing, let's be older and like it most of the time.